All right, so now what we're going to be doing is we're going to be replacing this hinge. Now on the other side of the car, they have one of these style hinges. This is a late 67 through 68, maybe even all the way up through 1970 hinge on a Mustang. I've painted it with some Rust-Oleum gloss black just to get us in the neighborhood because it's going to be inside the door jamb, not going to be able to see it. This is an original hinge. This is what a 67 Mustang would have come with, and it's got the typical problem of these where the spring has popped and broken, and even the linchpin here, the roller pin that this would ride on, is gone. So we want to get rid of that, put this one in there so that it will at least match the driver's side. And the driver's side's in good shape. No point in replacing it. Might as well replace the passenger side. I'm going to go in and I'm going to remove, start the bolts for removal. And of course they're not super tight. And I've got a piece of wood wedged in here. This is basically to hold position on the door slightly for when this thing collapses, because it is going to collapse out a little bit. And then we have to try to get it to lay in whenever we go in here for final. You'll notice I loosened those with my regular wrench, and I'm just taking them off on the impact to make it easier. This door is going to move. But we're on the latch at the back and we're on this hinge, so we should be fairly okay here. No pressure on the piece of wood, that's good. If you're doing this, this is the best way to do it. No movement from the hinge yet. And just drops right out of there. Now, I'm going to have to probably go in on the inside now and grab that plate that fell out. And then you have to kind of figure out a way to make that stay. What kind of shape is this hinge in? I mean, it's rebuildable. Hasn't been rebuilt before that I can tell, but it's not in great shape. And I'm probably going to come in here and put a little bit of gloss black on this. I'm going to shine it up around it and scuff it a little bit and throw some black in on here so that it looks better. All right, so here we go. Now, you notice I've put a piece of wood on one of my stools underneath the bottom edge of the door. There's a couple of ways this can go. Some of these early Fords actually have the plate that holds the hinge in where it will stay in place. You can pull it out of there, you can pick it up, drop it down and pull it out, but it won't fall out. Some of them don't have that. This happens to be one that does not have that. And either way it goes, I was going to have to pull the sill plates and the kick panel out. And I didn't want to do that unless I absolutely needed to. Like I said, some of them don't do that. This one did, so I've got to pull the sill plates out. And I've got to pull the kick panel out as well. All so I can set that thing up and get it in there right. Using my impact because I'm lazy. Because now, it's just one of those things where now I've got to put things back in. that sounded, but not a lot I can do about it. There's a screw on the back side of the sills over here usually. And one up in the very front that you're probably not going to be able to see. Right down in the same kind of location here. The more I try to put this car back together, the more I have to take it apart. All right, there's also one here. These sill plates are chewed up a little bit. And one right here. This one I can get to with the impact. The one right here I cannot. I'll probably have to get a short screwdriver after it. Maybe I can seat up a little bit. That seat is locked in place. I'm going to try to do it the chicken way. I don't know what, something must have gotten spilled in this car. Maybe some Coca-Cola. I don't know. But this is the remnants of that sill plate, the white dust you see here. That's the remnants of the sill plate. So Coca-Cola or something, maybe a rat got in here and took a whiz on this stuff. I don't know, but it shouldn't look like that. Oh my gosh. I keep saying things like that, expecting this to be different. Kylie, we're going to need to replace these. Okay. I don't know if they put any trim screws in here. There should be some trim screws in this. But I don't know that they did. Oh, they actually did. Trim screw on this one. There's a couple of different places. It's way up inside of there. It looks like that upper hinge is in pretty decent shape. But here we go. I'm going to take the kick panel out so I can access that one piece. And this is what this carpet looks like. It's pretty nasty. I mean, I haven't seen one this bad in a while. So, yeah, I really want to pull this out of here and put the other carpet set in it. Yeah. Even more of the sound deadening material, which is going to be fun to pull off in order to access that hole. Now, what you should do in a case like this is take that, and put it on the back side of your kick panel. That way, if you have to get in there and work on anything, you're not having to pull all this off and then re-glue it. I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to say anything. Yeah, see how this one is? Some of these will have a little lip down here that this piece can sit into. And you'll know when you get in here, this is the side that faces that end of it. And then this will go in here. Like that. But if it's not on that little lip right there, it's not going to stay in there really well. And I've got a little solution for that I'm going to show you. We're going to leave all that bare for right now so that when we go out and do my little solution, if it doesn't hold and work, we can get back in here and do one of the other things you can do. Which is, I'll go ahead and tell you, to use some strip caulk on the other side, on the side that faces the A-pillar. Put a little bit of strip caulk on there and it'll actually hold it in place lightly enough that you can do what you need to do. Okay, I did lean on it a little bit that time. All right, now that I've got this in play here, I've put a longer bolt. This is actually longer than it needs to be in there, with a screw slot in the facing of it in case things bind up a little bit, into the plate. That's there to hopefully keep the plate in position. The threads on here will actually hang up on the edge of the panel and hold that, hopefully hold that plate in place. If not, we can get back in the car, but it's better if you have something like this in play to make it easier. And I'm not going to hard shut the door, I'm going to lightly shut it. Picking the door up, taking it in, and setting it on the latch. Doesn't have to be closed all the way. All right, our plate is still in play. Okay. Bad problem is this hinge is actually, if it's flat, that's where the hinge sits. So this door should actually be open to here in order to start it on that bolt. But if you open the door that much, guess what? You can't get the hinge in there. I am going to probably back this out a little bit here. See if I can get it to stay on. And I'm going to lightly start these bolts in here. There's also one inside of the door, but it's not as much of a problem. And there's that bottom one. Now I'm going to put this on with my impact, but I'm only going to start them. I'm not going to do a final tighten on it. I'm going to tighten these up, I think, just to see if I can get that hinge to load over and then open the door up. I'm going to take my bolt out, or leave it in there, I should say. Not going to be able to do what I wanted to do with that. All right, I'm going to have to open the door up. I'm going to remove my bolt here for now, and then I'll take the bolt out on the inside because I can't get it to come out from here. Take the bolt out and then come back to camera and then show you me opening the door up and then placing this with the hinge and using the bolt to center it up. All right, I'm going to go in here and open the door up and hold it up in the air and drag this around so it'll sit on the block of wood. Yeah, we're pretty far out. Pretty far out. Not going to work there. It's sitting flat. So that means that the door, with the hinge the way it is right now, that means the door is actually sitting down from where it should be. So I'm gonna, if I could get a bolt started on it, it would be a lot easier, but I can't do that right now. So I'm gonna have to see if I can pick that hinge up a little bit. That's a little bit better. All right, so I'm going to have to now go inside, if I can get in there, and set that hinge plate the hard way. delicate dance of the elephants. This proves that you can do this by yourself too, though. You might think you need help, but realistically you can do it. I'm going to take my cotter pin tool. See if I can slide that hinge. Might be able to pull it out right here. Just popped it out. Yep. All right, so you can see I got a little bit of the bolt hanging out. So hopefully that means that I'll be able to start the other two bolts. I'm going to take a flat blade screwdriver and hold this in position. Using those tines to help set it. All right. I'll take and put this on the tines on that one. This one to start, we're in business. Yep. Okay, and I'm going to set those two. I'm going to put the door on the latch, and then I'm going to set this based off of where it's sitting on that latch. Okay. Now that I can shut the door all the way. Position is pretty good on this. We're a little out at the bottom. I'll take these and loosen them up. And what I'll probably end up doing, there we go, that's right where it needs to be. Moment of truth. I ain't arguing with that. All right, I'm going to take this bolt out from the inside. That's what worked best, and honestly, I've done this a couple of different ways. If you don't have a problem with the plate falling out, it's just tons easier either way because you can pop the bolt in there and start it. The way these plates are set up on the 67 is a little goofy. And basically I can just get a flat blade screwdriver, open the door now, get my other bolt and put it in here, and bada bing, bada boom, we're good to go. It wasn't as hard as it could be, but it wasn't as easy as I wanted it to be, if that makes any sense. There you go. The reason this is still in here is because I know I put the real bolt somewhere when I went and looked for this bolt. I don't know where it's at. It's around here somewhere. I'll find it before we put the fenders on, probably in the next couple of days. But that's going to come out. We'll put the other bolt in there. These two are enough to hold it in position. It'll stay fine with the door shut. Even if I opened up that door and ran it open for a little while, that's not going anywhere. But we have to go somewhere, so do me a favor. Be kind to each other, love on each other, treat each other nice. You guys have a great week, and we'll see you next time on Autorestomod. Cheers. I really could have used some Baileys in there.